Ladies and gentlemen, good day and welcome to Cosmo Films Limited Q4 FY21 earnings conference call hosted by Essential Technologies Private Limited. As a reminder, all participant lines will be in the listen-only mode, and there will be an opportunity for you to ask questions after the presentation concludes. Should you need assistance during the conference call, please signal an operator by pressing star and 0 on your touchtone phone. Please note that this conference is being recorded. I now hand the conference over to Mr. Saurabh Bhave. Thank you, and over to you, sir.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Cosmo Films Limited Q4 FY21 earnings conference call. From the management, we have CEO Mr. Pankaj Poddar and CFO Mr. Neeraj Jain. Now, may I request Mr. Neeraj Jain to take us through his opening remarks, subsequent to which we can open up the floor for the Q&A session. Thank you, and over to you, Neeraj ji.
Well, thank you, Saurabh. Very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Neeraj Jain, CFO at Cosmo Films, joined by my colleague Mr. Pankaj Poddar, CEO at Cosmo Films. Our financial results for the March 21 and investors presentations are available on company's website. I request you to refer to our new investors presentation available at company's website, which will throw much more light. Starting with statutory declaration, certain statements in this con call may be forward-looking statements. These statements are based on management's current expectation and are subject to uncertainty and changes in circumstances. These statements are not guarantees of future results. We'll start the call with a brief on the performance of the company, which may be followed by the questions. First, talking about the Q4 FY21 results. The company has posted highest ever quarterly EBITDA of 126 crore rupees during the quarter. Consolidated sale for the quarter is 672 crores, which is higher by 17% compared to last year's same quarter. This increase is primarily because of higher volume by 7%, higher specialty sale by more than 20%, increase in margins, and raw material price increase which got passed on to the customers. The EBITDA has increased to 126 crore rupees on the back of, number one, higher specialty sale by more than 20%. Number two, better operating margins. Number three, higher volume by 7%. And number four, but not the last, uptick performance by subsidiaries by rupees 14 crore EBITDA during March 21 quarter as against to 4 crore rupee EBITDA last year same quarter. BOPP Films overall margins has been running at rupees 35 per kg during the Q4. The comparative figure for December 20 quarter is rupees 30 and March 20 quarter is rupees 28 per kg. This is largely on the back of a strong domestic demand. The specialty side, Cosmo Films is increasingly becoming a name being recognized globally for newer and innovative solutions. The specialty film sales have grown year on year in last 3 years, and growth rate in FY21 surpassed more than 20%, despite the base becoming larger each year passing, which reaffirm company's strategy about continuous investment in R&D, sales and marketing, employees' practices, quality and customer satisfaction. The significant share of the specialty film in overall sales has made a strong foundation for Cosmo, and it will help the company to do much better in tougher times. Investment in R&D continues. We are looking at increasing R&D headcount from 24 currently to 30 numbers in next couple of months. Further, 6 new patents are in pipeline. Some of the new growth areas in specialty film work out are, number one, synthetic paper, which is nothing but a durable alternate to paper. The global market for synthetic paper is more than 100,000 metric tons, India market is close to 6,000 metric ton, but there is immense potential to grow. Number 2, sustainable solutions. Number 3, direct thermal printable film. In fact, Cosmo Films is first BOPP film producer across the world to launch DTP film. Sustainable PVC-free solution for graphic applications. And in the last but not the least, shrink label film. And within this specialty, company is working to sell high-end specialty to improve overall margins. Now I will move to yearly results. On full year basis, FY21 PAT has more than doubled. In fact, the increase is 109% compared to last year. On the back of number 1, higher specialty sale by more than 20%. Operating margin for BOPP overall basis was running on an average 30 rupee per kg in FY21 as against rupee 20 per kg during the last year. Again, uptick performance by subsidiaries on the full year basis. Subsidiaries taken together posted 32 crore rupee of EBITDA during FY21 compared to 18 crore of EBITDA during the last year. And of course, the lower finance cost also helped. FY21 ROCE now stands at 22% and return on equity stands at 30%, which is one of the best in the industry. The EPS increased by 115% compared to last year to 127 rupee per share. Moving to balance sheet, the net debt is 438 crore rupee, which is close to 1 times to net debt to EBITDA ratio and 0.5 times to net debt to equity ratio. Needless to say here that company is running strong financials. If you do recall, in Q3 FY21, the company has also bought back 12,67,000 shares at a price of 576 rupees per share. The buyback reflects management's confidence in the company's business strategy and the growth prospects, and shall also facilitate better EPS and return on equity. Moving to growth projects. On growth side, the company is running expansion projects in the form of the specialized BOPET line, master batch line, which got commercialized during the FY21, and of course the textile chemicals. Construction of specialized BOPET line has started and is running as per plan, even with significant COVID-related challenges. Still, we are running as per plan. We are targeting complementary growth in specialized BOPET line, such as shrink label and other high-end specialty. For shrink label, global market is 130,000 metric ton, and there is an opportunity in India to convert non-recyclable PVC film market into 30, which is almost 30,000 metric ton in fact, into more shrink label film. The internal consumption for master batch is growing continuously, and external sales will start soon. The line is expected to run close to full capacity during FY22, which will generate sales of about 100 crore rupees, including internal consumption. The company has successfully completed development of several textile chemical products, each with specific USPs. Many of the product offerings are unique, which should help our customers to reduce energy or the water consumption. We also have plans to launch antiviral and antibacterial wash for garment industry. Indian textile chemical is a large industry exceeding more than 10,000 crore rupees and mostly dominated by MNC players. These products are currently under trials, and with textile manufacturing processes, commercial launch we should have in first half of FY22. Pet care pilot launch will start in Q2 FY22 under the brand name Ziggly, and will provide unique value proposition to pet parents across different channels in an industry which is growing more than 25% year on year. The company is taking several initiatives on sustainability. Just to count on some of these sustainability projects where we are working. Number one, offering mono-layered structure for ease of recycling. Number two, power, water, and gas consumption rationalization. Rainwater harvesting and reuse of effluent treated water. All of our plants, in fact, now have solar power as one of the energy source. Rationalization of containers and trucks space to optimize on the loading part. Waste elimination, recycling of the waste. And in the last, we have also planted 5,000 trees. These will rationalize costs in the coming quarters, besides some contribution to environment. I think these were the few updates on the quarter from the company side. Now we would like to open the con call for the questions, please.
Thank you very much. We will now begin the question and answer session. Anyone who wishes to ask a question may press star and 1 on their touchtone telephone. If you wish to remove yourself from the question queue, you may press star and 2. Participants are requested to use handsets while asking a question. Ladies and gentlemen, we will wait for a moment while the question queue assembles. We would also request the participants to please limit your questions to 2 per participant. The first question is from the line of Mirav Jimodia from Annual Research. Please go ahead.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Sir, my question is on the specialty films. So, sir, like one of the segment Mr. Neeraj mentioned about is synthetic paper and the potential size as well as the target markets target size in the Indian markets also. But sir, if you can help us explain how is the market for all grades of specialty films which we produce, the market size in India, or let's say in value terms or either in volume terms, or our market share out of the total Indian market. So that is question number 1. And second is, sir, when you say specialty, so what distinguishes specialty from commodity? Because when we see the presentations of other competitors also, they also say that they are also into various grades of specialty films. So if you can just help us explain in terms of what according to Cosmo is a specialty and what distinguish its characteristics from the commodity films. And yeah, last but not least, what according to you are the entry barriers for other players for getting into these specialty films? Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So Cosmo operates in 5 segments, okay, which is packaging films, lamination films, label films, synthetic paper, and industrial films. Under each category, we have some or the other specialty films. Okay. And our investor presentation does talk about this in some detail. Synthetic paper, as Neeraj has already stated, is a very niche market. Yeah. And we are continuously increasing our sales in this segment globally. Okay. On the label side, there are 3 segments. There are wraparound labels that you see on a Pepsi or a Coca-Cola bottle. Yeah. You see injection molded labels, which you see on a paint bucket, which is an integral part of the container itself. And third is a self-adhesive label, which is pasted on a bottle, just like your shampoo bottle. Okay. We are already now world's top 3 player when you talk about self-adhesive labels. Okay. It's a niche segment and involves a lot of technology because the same label goes for many different types of printing, and it's not easy to make a film which can accept all types of printing. Okay. And there's a lot of research. We took several years to enter this segment, and globally there are not more than 3 to 4 players who can do it. And Cosmo being in top 2, top 3 position worldwide on this. And it's basically top 3 players have, I would say, more than 90% market share. Okay. In injection molded labels, Cosmo is present, though our presence is small. It's again our niche segment. It's a growing segment worldwide again, just like self-adhesive labels. And it involves robotics while the injection molding process is on. Again, a complicated label. And just to confirm that all the innovation work that we did in last few years, we are able to create a very unique position for Cosmo. And in the coming years, we'll be able to expand this segment as well. We are introducing another label segment which is called direct thermal printable film. If you see credit card slips, which is a printing which fades away in some days, we are going to do that in a film which has several applications. While the film that we are going to produce will be chemical-free, chemical-proof, waterproof, and so on, oil-proof, and the printing shelf life will be for 5 years. And if you see hospitals, the wristbands typically are made from direct thermal printable film. Fourth is wraparound, which I would say is far less niche. Cosmo used to be a very major player in the domestic market, but over the years, I would say one or two more players have entered. Okay. What we call specialty is where there are very few players in the global market. I'll come to that later on. Yeah. Then explaining the third segment, lamination, which has wet lamination and thermal lamination. Thermal lamination, again, we are the world's largest player. Though in India itself, few years back, there were only 4 or 5 players worldwide. In the recent years, there are a lot of players which have started operations in China and even in India. However, Cosmo continues to maintain its numero uno position for so many years. Many companies have tried doing it. They have attained some small volumes, but nobody has even come close to the volumes which Cosmo does on thermal lamination. Okay. The fifth segment is the packaging segment. In the packaging segment, different companies call different products as specialty. However, what we are working very closely is monomaterial structures. These are recyclable structures. We are very successful, and we have converted several packaging for very large brands in India from non-recyclable solution to a recyclable solution. And the same set of customers have provided us a lot of global opportunities, whether these are brands or these are packaging companies. Okay. So these are largely 5 segments. We classify a product as a specialty when there are very few manufacturers worldwide, not in India. Okay. Because in India, we do not consider anybody's competing us. Okay. But worldwide, there are not more than 2 to 3 players, or at best 5 to 7 players. And the margins are far superior to commodity. Okay. And third important thing is that the margin is protected because it is linked to the raw material. Correct. Sir, sorry, I also missed on the industrial segment. Industrial segment has niche applications. We normally do not share because there are hardly any companies in the world who are present in this segment. These are very niche applications that we have created over the years. Okay. And we are kind of leader. So if you really ask, we are leaders in industrial films. We are in top 3 in the label films, and we are again the leaders in thermal lamination films. Got it, sir. So rightly explained. So, sir, suffice to assume that most of our specialty films is finding the markets on the export side rather than in India. So is my assumption correct in terms of what you have explained right now? You are right that export market is much bigger for these, while India is not far behind. Yeah. And I would say some of these applications, like for labels, India is a decent market. Okay. Even for lamination, it's a growing market. Okay. So I would say that India is also an important market, a fairly large market. But okay. You are right that it has to be global. And that is the reason we have global presence. We have distribution in more than 7-8 countries. We have salespeople all over the world to make sure that we stay close to our customers. Got it. So, sir, last question on this would be like, if you can share us like how much out of our specialty film sales, what we have clocked in FY21 in volume terms, how much would be exported? So if you can share the domestic as well as the export mix, that would be helpful, sir. Yeah, so last year on a full year average basis, we are somewhere between 50 to 55%,
Okay.
while the quarter four run rate was more than 60%.
Correct.
And most of it is, I would say, a significant more than 2/3 portion is in export. Close to, I would say, 70% is in export.
Okay. Thanks a lot, sir, for answering. I'll get back in the queue, sir. All the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Yash Gupta from Angel Broking. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. So first question, any specific reason for the increase in the specialty in this particular quarter, as we are expecting around to be 55% for the Q4 FY21, but we've reached around to be 62%. So any specific reason to it, and what could be the highest possible percentage achievement in the specialty side?
The highest achievement was in last year only, the year that we ended. And if you see, every year our growth percentages are going up. So one side, the base is becoming bigger, and the other side, our growth percentages is getting higher. And this is largely because of all the investments that we have done on the research, on the sales, on the customer centricity, and so on and so forth. So each passing year, our growth rates are growing, and in spite of the fact that our base is bigger and bigger.
Okay, just repeat my question. What could be the highest percentage we can achieve in the specialty? Whether that 80% we are targeting in 2023, that could be the highest, or we can even go beyond that also?
That's why we had earlier suggested that by March 23, we will touch 70% specialty sales of our total volume. I'll be glad that we are moving the way we are moving. We should be able to do this within next 12 months. We should be able to achieve 70% target on a full year basis. We feel that we can, without adding capacity, we can touch 75-80% because some customers do ask for commodity and specialty. Increasingly, more and more, we are pushing our customers to buy only specialty from us. This largely happens in the packaging side, because in the industrial side, on the label side, on the lamination side, we are largely selling specialty to our customers. However, in packaging, we do have to give a mix of specialty and commodity, and we are continuously pushing customers that please buy commodities from other companies and buy only specialty films from Cosmo. So we are pushing this percentage, but we feel that beyond 75-80%, it may be difficult unless and until we add further capacities for BOPP as such.
Okay. So second question on the raw material pricing, as you have pointed out, like we are able to pass on the increase in the raw material price. Just I want to understand, is there any lag between the increase in the raw material price and the increase in the price that we took?
See, it depends on customer to customer. Some customers we have 15 days, some customers we have 30 days, some customers we have a quarter. So it's very difficult to tell you like this. And if you get an increase in one quarter or a decrease in one quarter, automatically the next quarter or next month that benefit comes. So that really doesn't bother to us.
Mm-hmm. And this BOPP margins of 35 per kg, do you think it's sustainable in this particular quarter also, as we expect like Q1 a little bit more affected due to the second wave? So do you think this particular 35 per kg will come down in the near future?
I can tell you that our April and May month have gone quite strong. Having said that, there are certain sectors like textile bags, which is under pressure. Some smaller converters for packaging are affected, and to that extent, some packaging demand is also affected. So as far as the players who are into commodity, we do see that in last 5-7 days, they have some pressure. But for us, given our volumes are very negligible in those segments, we do not see Cosmo to be impacted as much. We do expect that markets will open within June, and if that happens, that will have very minimal impact on the industry.
Okay, sure. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Akul Broachwala from IIFL Securities. Please go ahead.
Thank you for this opportunity, sir, and congrats for a very good set of numbers in these challenging times. So, just wanted to get some understanding in this specialty BOPET line. So you mentioned that, like you have a capacity of 36,000 tons. And so are there any specific domestic players which are also into the specific niche segment, or you would be the only one who will start manufacturing it?
See, we are going to make films for 3-4 segments. In couple of segments, there are Indian players, and a couple of segments, there are no Indian players. But even those 2 segments, there is only, I would say, hardly one player who is doing a small volume.
Okay. And like, what would be the kind of realization and margin profile for this particular product versus, a regular BOPET film? So will it be far more superior than a regular one?
It will be far more superior, though I would certainly like to share with the investors that, day one, do not expect that 100% capacity will be sold for specialty. The specialty ramp up will happen gradually. The line is capable to make normal packaging films also, and these specialized application films. It's a very unique line that we took at least 18 months with the supplier to create this special line for Cosmo. Initially the line will be utilized for selling commodities, and gradually we will, within a period of 2 years, ramp up with specialty. We feel that on day one itself, we'll be able to allocate 25% of the line for specialty applications, and by second year itself, we will be allocate 50% of the volumes towards specialty.
Okay. And I believe that this particular line was also to be used for some captive consumption. Is that understanding right? Maybe 1/3 of the capacity was to be used for captive requirements?
Not 1/3, but yes, there will be some capacity still used for captive.
Okay, got it. And the second question is regarding how many lines are you seeing to come up in India in this year, BOPP?
We understand that there are 2 more lines which will come up in this year. One in the Q2 of this financial year, and the second line will be coming end of Q3. These are largely 2 lines that we expect.
Okay. So, like, do you expect any pressure on margins because of these lines, or do you expect margins more or less to sustain at current levels?
You see, as far as the first line, when it is coming, at that time there will be a lot of pent-up demand. And therefore, we do not see that this line which is going to come in Q2 will make any impact. As far as the next line is concerned, it may create some impact for the overall industry. But I would like to remind investors that for us, it will be a very minimal impact because our commodity volume has already squeezed to a much lower number. But it will make some impact to us also. So maybe in Q3, there could be some impact to the margin for some short period.
Okay, got it. And just final one from my end. What would be your tax guidance for next few years?
Neeraj, you may answer.
Yeah, so effective tax rate for this year FY21 is close to 28%. We should continue. But since we have a substantial amount of unutilized MAT credit, in reality, the cash payout from the company is equivalent to close to 17% only. But the effective tax rate for the time being will continue.
Yeah, okay. I would also like to add here that, the money that we earn in US and Netherlands is totally tax-free because we had accumulated losses. And the new subsidiary that we made, Cosmo Specialty Chemical, will have only 15% taxation. And we do expect that CSC will, reach to a very good number within 5 years. And therefore, overall effective tax as a group may be lower than 20 to 23% over next 3-4 years. Right, Neeraj?
Sure, Pankaj.
Okay, sir. Got it. Thank you so much and wish you all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shraddha Sheth from Edelweiss. Please go ahead.
Thank you, and congrats on a very good set of numbers. Just two questions. One is if you can share the quarterly volumes for the quarter segment-wise. And second is in terms of demand supply, both for BOPET and BOPP, what is our sense as to, whether we are peaking in terms of margins or we believe this can continue. And also for us, structurally with the specialty films getting added, we think there is a scope of more margin improvement. Thank you.
We do not share volumes. And as you rightly pointed out, for us, commodity margins do not matter as much. It's very difficult to say whether they have peaked or not because there are so many factors which impact these margins. These could be raw material demand and supply, these could be finished goods demand and supply, and so on and so forth.
Right, sir. Just wanted to understand the cycle both for BOPET as well as BOPP, since our capacities are substantial in both. So, is it similar? I mean, we expect the run rate to continue, or these are different dynamics for both.
It's very difficult to project that, and different for both. Having said that, our entire focus is on improving specialty growth, continue to have majority of the volumes coming from there. As I said already, we have exceeded 60% plus in quarter 4. And therefore, we do expect that our specialty margins will continue to improve our overall margins too. Barring if at all there is any major impact to commodity films, that could be that may have some dent to Cosmo overall profitability. But we are sitting at a very, very strong position because of our overall 60+% on specialty here.
Sure. And just lastly, the quarterly and the annual profitability per kg, as you shared for BOPP, can we share for the full year as well?
Neeraj, do you have any numbers like this?
Well, we mentioned on an overall basis, BOPP margins has been running 30 rupee per kg compared to rupees 20 rupee per kg of last year.
This is for the quarter or for the full year?
For the full year.
Okay. And what is the quarterly run rate?
Quarterly, we mentioned at the beginning of the call, it has been 35 rupee per kg.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, and all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Shubham Agrawal from Equitas Investment. Please go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity, sir. And really congratulations on a very good set of numbers. So firstly, I want to understand about the specialty chemical division, which is expected to start in first half of this year. So what kind of contribution can we expect from this division this year, and the margins that this division can contribute?
We feel that Cosmo Chemical should do 150 plus crores in this year, and we expect the EBITDA margins to be at least 17-18%.
Right. And sir, secondly, on the working capital side, if I compare to last quarter when the working capital was close to 170 crores, this time it has increased to 360 crores. So what explains this substantial increase in working capital?
Yeah, it is largely, Neeraj, you can answer this, but I can tell you one thing, that the raw material prices were very high in this quarter. And that resulted in increase in receivables as well as increase in raw material. These were last two factors. Neeraj, can you give a more detailed explanation?
Sure, Pankaj. So as Pankaj rightly mentioned, because of the raw material price increase in absolute value, it may look higher. But if you look at, receivable in terms of the number of days, it has dropped compared to last year. Inventory has been in number of days almost at the same level, but because of the raw material price, it has gone up.
Right. I think the biggest stretch is in the trade payables. Last time it was 308 crores, which has gone down to 204 crores.
Yeah, I think I'm not sure whether we are looking at the right number, but yes, there is an increase in the overall trade payable also.
Okay. Okay. And then secondly, my question is slightly near term. So given the current second wave of COVID, do you see any impact on any of the manufacturing side, either due to labor or due to shortage of any raw material? And on the demand side, you already mentioned that May and April was good, but how do you see future demand in near term?
Yeah, so there is no impact to our operation due to second wave of COVID. We are doing very well, and I think the overall management by our team is exceedingly good. And as far as demand and supply, I have already answered earlier that most of the demand is very strong, other than textile bags and small converters for packaging. However, Cosmo has a very, very limited presence in these two segments, and therefore our demand is extremely strong. And as of today, we have orders till 15th June.
Okay. And lastly, I just wanted to confirm one more thing. What would be our total contribution from specialty film by the end of FY22? I think in presentation you have mentioned 80% for FY23, but this year end, how much can we expect the contribution to be?
See, in volume terms, we are expecting that we should start hitting the run rate of 70%, and value terms we should start hitting 75+%.
Okay, right. Fair. Yeah, that's it from my side, sir. Thank you and best of luck.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Siddharth Mohta from Principal India. Please go ahead.
Yeah. Good afternoon to you, sir. It's a very insightful presentation. So first my question is on the overseas subsidiaries. So quarter after quarter, seems to be a sharp improvement in the EBITDA number. Sir, how sustainable this number is, and any milestones that we are looking in our overseas subsidiaries in 22 and 23?
So subsidiaries number will continue to improve because our growth of specialty films is improving in these countries. We hardly sell any commodity films in the subsidiaries, and our this year budget is even higher than the last year numbers. So as far as subsidiaries are concerned, you should continue to see an improvement.
Okay. So, sir, one can assume the base number of might be 14-15 crore of quarter 3 because it's a very sharp improvement that we have seen.
Yeah, so we should see further improvement from there.
Yes. Sir, second, sir, as you clearly mentioned, from 60% to 80% is our journey with specialty products. Specialty, if you can just highlight some of the product pipeline that is coming or the new customer acquisition that we are doing, that would be very helpful.
Yes, so there are multiple products which are in the pipeline. We continue to expand our synthetic paper range to suit it for more applications. We are bringing DTP, direct thermal printable films. We are bringing more films on the sustainable solutions. So there are multiple things there are few films coming in the industrial side. So I would say, and that's the reason we said that there are 6 more patents in the pipeline.
Sir, how frequently, sir, do you review this specialty film products and just showing a particular number, whatever you're doing today, so might be after 2 years or 3 years, someone can also copy, and there the margin of specialty would not be the similar when they started the journey. So if you follow that particular normal distribution curve, that would be very helpful.
Yes, so the moment there are more competitors in a particular segment, we classify that into commodity, and we have done this in last 3-4 years. We have shifted some products away, but to tell you that certain segments that we are present, it's not easy to competition to enter them. Like industrial films, some of the films we are doing for so many years, and we continue to enjoy monopoly. Similarly, on labels, there are certain films where we continue to enjoy monopoly worldwide. I'm not saying India. Worldwide monopoly for last several years. Thermal films, we continue to be number one player for more than 12 years now. So, there are segments where we are the global leaders, and because of the research that we have put there, it's not easy, but at the same time, we review it monthly basis, our overall growth in specialty. And as far as any segment which is under threat, we review it on a quarterly basis.
Sir, earlier, sir, you used to mention that the specialty film margin for the contribution, the margin it is around between 2 and 3x. So even sir, if we increase our scope of specialty film to 80%, so that particular metric will continue to be there?
Yeah, see, obviously it also depends on how the commodity margins are there. Last 2 quarters, the commodity margins are much higher, and therefore specialty margins would have, as a proportion to commodity, would have dropped to 1.8 times, because commodity margins virtually became 1.75 times of the normal. But in general, specialty margins are 2 to 3 times, as you rightly said, of the commodity margin.
And sir, we would like to maintain that margin in a normal scenario, even if we reach 80%. It is 2x to 2.5.
In fact, the good thing is all the new innovations that we are doing, we are able to command even a higher premium for them.
Okay. And sir, when you are going to reach at 80%, so some of these new products so that we are in the process of launching, so what will be that particular percentage of our overall price, if that is possible for you to quantify?
I did not understand your question.
So within the specialty chemicals, you said that our target is to reach 80%, and at the same time, our R&D pipeline it is looking very strong, it is getting a very high margin. So when we reach 80% in the specialty film segment, so what these new products or the innovative products, it will form the part of specialty chemicals?
You're saying chemicals or you're saying film?
Film, sir, sorry.
Yeah. So I still did not understand. What do you mean by that?
Sir, my question, sir, it is that, sir, currently our specialty film is 60%. And when it reaches to 80%, do you think that our innovative specialty films, which carry a high margin, like shrink film, thermal film, it will be forming the larger share of that specialty film? Some of our innovative products.
Oh, yes. It will be more of innovative products.
Okay. And this carries a high margin, is it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Thank you, sir, and best wishes for upcoming.
Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Santosh Kesri, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hello, good afternoon. Congratulations for such a good set of numbers. We are glad that I have been an investor for a long time now, so it has given me a very good return. I have 2 questions. One is about the borrowing. Like when I see the borrowings in the balance sheet and when I see the repayment of the borrowings in the cash flow, so it appears that in the cash flow, there is hardly any repayment of the borrowing. It looks like that we have replaced one debt with the another. So, but in the balance sheet, I can see there is a reduction in debt. So what is our level of debt as of today? Is it at the same level as it was last year, or there is some repayment lined up in the current quarter, that is quarter 1 of 21-22? That is my first question. And my second question is about Petcare brand. Basically, I want to ask that what makes us confident that we are going to make it good here, and what is the competitive scenario? What gives us confidence that we'll be able to maintain the margins that we have in our present business, in the pet care business, and it's going to be shareholder value accretive in the long term?
Can you answer the first one?
Sure. You see, on the borrowing, we should always see the net level. Net level of borrowings compared to last year has dropped for us by 140 crore rupee. So very clearly there is a drop. And in terms of key other financial parameters linked with the borrowing, like the net debt to EBITDA, it remains close to 1 time. So very healthy proposition from that perspective. And within the borrowing, the shifting from short term to long term, it all depends on the requirement. So we intended to increase the current ratio of the company, which is running at a very healthy level now. So that was the key reason for such shuffling.
Okay. Yeah, on the pet care side, we have to see that there is no organized player in the pet care other than Mars, which is there for the food. And this segment is growing at a phenomenal growth rate. Last year, the growth, last to last year, the growth rate was 22%. The last year numbers are yet to come, but we expect that the growth rate will be more than 30%. The market is already more than 6,000 crores, and with hardly any presence of any large players, organized players. We are coming with very unique solutions both for retail, at home, and online experience. And I cannot share too many details, but we are extremely confident that we will do a great job. You will start seeing the retail store opening up, in the next quarter. And you will also see our app up and running from the next quarter. And then you will realize what are the different differentiated products and services that we are providing to the pet parents.
Okay, but the investment plan that I can see in the presentation is not more than 15 crore in this business. So are you sure that with just 15 crore, we'll be able to do all this digital as well as retail operations and presence?
Oh, yes. See, the other reason for this is that this year will be more of a pilot year. We do not plan to open more than 3 stores and the app. And I think we will be well within the for this. Okay. Once our pilot run is successful, then we will start scaling up at a country level.
Surely. But one question that I am still looking for an answer is that why a pet care business? Why Cosmo Films would be doing good here? Is it because it's a very good opportunity, or there is some extension of our present business line or business practices or the product that we have into pet care business? Like I don't know much about this, but if that is about providing food to pets and packaging that, so is it the packaging that we are trying to leverage on, or is it about the food itself? Because as I understand, the food is not such a core competence for us. Maybe it is packaging. So I wanted better clarity on this.
Yeah, so we are not going to manufacture food or anything else at this stage. What we are trying to come up is to provide a easier and I would say easier accessibility, make the life of a pet parent and a pet easier in several different ways. And the reason we entered into this segment is we were looking at one consumer business, and we were studying several businesses, and we said that pet care is one area where it's a very fast growing market. It's more than $10 billion market in India, in America. It's close to $1 billion market in India. And there is no organized player who is able to provide all kinds of products and services under one banner. In America, there are companies which are able to do it, and they are very large companies. So, we started to get into more details of this segment, and we found very lucrative. And based on our detailed study that we did over a period of close to 18 months, we said this is a very good area to invest upon. And in today's world with technology, taking such a nice shape, it really does not take as much money to invest. If you do the things in a right way, you are able to create a new setup in much lesser investment, and you can scale up at a pan-India level in a much faster way. So we are going to use technology. It will be a largely technology-oriented business with some retail presence also in all the large cities of the country.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. Wish you all good luck.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Himesh Shah, an individual investor. Please go ahead.
Hi, sir. So congratulations on a good set of numbers. So what I wanted to ask you was this, so you've already spoken about, the margins maintaining or, they'll improve going ahead, as as the contribution increases from the specialty side. I just want to ask you for the broader view, what is it that, first, from the pet care vertical, where it said that, in the medium term, you look to demerge these two businesses. That's one. And the other thing is, what is the broader view, 3 years or 4 years down the line, would you want the specialty to go up to around, 90%, 95%, or will you be comfortable at 80% and like to maintain the 80-20 balance?
We'll go step by step. Our immediate goal for next 2 years is to hit the 80% number. And once we do that, we'll see whether it's possible to go beyond. Because as we said that some of the packaging customers especially look for both commodity and specialty solutions at the same time, though we are pushing them to buy only specialty from us. So it's a little early, but right now our immediate target is to touch this 80% number within 2 years. And we should be able to do that earlier than we are indicating to you.
Okay, and about the pet care vertical, about the demerger that you've mentioned, the medium term, can you quantify, can you, guide about the how many years and, what are you looking at pet care as?
Yes, so in 4 to 5 years, we're looking to create a 250 to 300 crore company. And, even going beyond, see, what happens in a consumer business that initially takes you a lot of efforts in first 2 years to set up the right base. Once your base is strong, then the scale up happens really fast. So if you are looking at a 3 to 4 year period, we feel that if you are able to scale it up to 250, 300 crores, we'll do quite a decent job. But once we reach that level, then scaling up further will be a far easier task.
Okay, and even this vertical will have, around 20% margin?
Yeah, consumer businesses, once you scale up, then you can control pricing and you can have quite decent margins. That's the reason that the valuation of consumer companies are such high.
Okay, and you expect to maintain the payout ratio, the dividend or the buybacks or whatever it is?
I mean, history speaks for itself.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir, and all the best.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Deepak Poddar from Sapphire Capital. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you very much, sir, for the opportunity. So, just wanted to understand, maybe on a little longer term basis, your EBITDA per kg, which stood at rupees 30 for that last year and 35 for the fourth quarter. So, how do you see that range on the little longer term basis? Currently, the scenario is quite strong, right? But it might not be the same over next maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So any comments on that would be helpful.
Mr. Poddar, we have been again and again saying that please stop looking at commodity numbers for Cosmo Film. These are only indicative numbers that we provide you in terms of what happens in the market. If you are an investor in Cosmo, you should track only the growth in the specialty films. And that is the entire story Cosmo is all about. We are not a commodity player and we have limited interest in commodity.
No, understood. That's it from me.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Akul Broachwala from IIFL Securities. Please go ahead.
Yeah, thank you for the follow-up. Sir, just wanted some clarification on specialty chemicals. So as you mentioned that you are targeting 150 crores in this year. So this will, I guess it also includes master batches to an extent, right?
Yeah.
And do we have any, have we entered into specific contracts with these textile manufacturers or what, which gives you this kind of visibility for the year?
Yeah, so see, the product has just been launched. The manufacturing capabilities are under setup right now, but the initial trials have been very encouraging, both on the master batch and the chemicals. Just to let you know, the master batches that we are making are made by hardly 4 or 5 companies in the world, right? And right now, the majority of the sales from the master batch is for internal consumption, and roughly 30% sales is from external customers. We can obviously scale it up by putting more lines in the near future. Therefore, I can tell you that of the 10 to 12 products that we decided to make, already 4 to 5 products are now well settled and being used on a regular basis. There are 2 large products which are about to be commercialized. The moment they are commercialized, within next 1 or 2 months, our volumes for master batches will scale up quite significantly. For textile chemical, majority of the trade is being done or is being managed by multinational companies. There are only 3-4 companies in India who are able to scale up this business beyond 100 crores. One is Rosary Biotech, which got listed, I think, only a year back, which is quite a major player in textile chemicals. Other than this, there are 2 more players, if I am correct, who are able to scale this business beyond 100 crores. Majority of this business is with international companies like Huntsman, Arcoma, and so on and so forth. It's a fairly large market, and given the capability of Cosmo from a R&D perspective, we feel that we can clearly make a good entry and become a strong player in this segment.
Okay, understood. And just require your capex guidance for this year and next year.
Neeraj?
You see, FY22 will be executing BOPET project. Part of the capex has already been done on this, but another close to 250 crore rupee will be spent over there. Beside this, there will be some capex in the specialized chemical wing and the master batches. So at an overall basis, broad indication is, 1.5 times of net debt to EBITDA, maybe the peak level in terms of the capex going forward. I'm talking about the next 1 year.
Okay, sir, got it. Thank you.
Thank you. The next question is from the line of Jayant Mamania from Care PMS. Please go ahead.
Yes, congratulations, Pankaj, for a great set of numbers. I have only one question. If going forward, single-use plastic is banned or restricted, what kind of impact will it have on polyester film packaging industry? And what positive impact will it have on synthetic paper?
See, single-use plastic is a very misinterpreted term, and different people understand it differently. Normally, single-use plastic means straws, plastic plates, plastic cutlery, which are use and throw items. And already government has banned few items. It has no role to play on the flexible packaging as such, and that segment continues to grow at more than 10% for last several years. We have to also remember that flexible packaging reduces carbon footprint by more than 60% versus any other material which is available today in the world. So it is the most environmental friendly material. The only challenge is some of the flexible packaging today is not recycled because of the fact that it is multi-layer plastic, multi-material plastic. For that also, there are unique solutions which have been developed in terms of putting them as granules into roads, using them for cement factories, and so on and so forth. If you really see, in last 2-3 years, there has been a great progress in India in terms of consuming these waste materials. Because if you recall earlier, all of us used to see a lot of plastics lying on the road. While now these days, all these plastics under Swachh Bharat Abhiyan is kind of recycled into different areas. Having said that, if this multi-material plastic can be moved to a single material plastic, which is what Cosmo is increasingly focusing on in the packaging segment, then it can be mechanically recycled for much high-end applications. And that is the entire intent. And I can tell you some of the large brands worldwide and in India have shifted a very large chunk of their packaging from multi-material to mono-material.
Correct. Okay. And what it will have positive impact on our synthetic paper?
Synthetic paper is not part of packaging. It is a replacement of paper meant for niche applications where the durability is of prime concern for a customer, and it's growing at a very nice pace for Cosmo.
Okay, okay. Thank you and all the best. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. That was the last question. I would now like to hand the conference over to the management for closing comments.
Thank you. I think very clearly the company is taking steps required to transform into a specialty packaging and a specialty chemical company in years to come. Growth projects, including a specialized BOPET line, higher specialty film projects, specialized chemical, pet care, are progressing well as per plan. Company's focus shall continue on improving specialty films, R&D particularly on sustainability, which should yield further results in coming years. These actions would continue to improve margins and would contribute in long-term sustainable growth. We look forward to much brighter days ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of Essential Technologies Private Limited, that concludes this conference. Thank you for joining us, and you may now disconnect your lines.